Welcome back, dear students. In the last class we studied about the preparation of phenols. Today we will learn about the chemical reactions of alcohols and also about the acidity of alcohols. So let's start. So, alcohols can act as both electrophiles and nucleophile. Electrophile means they act as electron deficient, and also they can act as nucleophiles, means electron rich. So we studied that they can act both as electrophiles and nucleophiles. Okay, first how they act as nucleophiles. Nucleophiles. Consider an alcohol ROH. Here there is lone pairs for oxygen, and consider an electron deficient carbon containing a positive charge. So how alcohol acts as a nucleophile is the lone pair on the oxygen will attack the carbon with a positive charge. So what it will be? ROH will be attached, and here there will be a positive charge to a carbon, then 3 bonds, isn't it? And next step is that the hydrogen will leave, donating its lone pairs to what, or donating its electron pair. Hydrogen will leave as H plus, and here you will get what? ROC. This is how in a chemical reaction alcohols act as nucleophiles. The electron pair on the oxygen will attack an electrophile, that is an electron deficient carbon. In this way, the alcohols act as nucleophiles. Next as electrophiles. Now, as electrophiles. Electrophiles means electron deficient, isn't it? So, first what happens is RCH2OH. This is an alcohol. First we will protonate the alcohol. Then what it will be? RCH2. Here the H plus will attack this oxygen. So it will be OH2 positive. Hydrogen on this oxygen. So oxygen will be having a positive charge plus one more hydrogen. RCH2OH2 plus. And this water leaves as H2O, and here the carbon will be having a positive charge. And this is an electrophile, and this electrophile will take part in reactions. This electrophile will take part in reactions. How? When this bromine comes, Br minus is a nucleophile, isn't it? This Br minus will attack this electrophile, and you will get what? RCH2Br. This is how protonated alcohols will act as electrophile. So alcohols, oxygen on the alcohol can act as a nucleophile, and protonated alcohols can act as electrophiles. In these two methods, these alcohols can take part in chemical reactions. So these alcohols can take part in a chemical reaction by mainly two methods, okay? That is, either there can be what, OH bond cleavage or CO bond cleavage. Okay, either, that means it is ROH, isn't it? Either they take part in a reaction by OH bond cleavage, or what happens here, it is CH3. If it is CH3 OH, CO bond cleavage also can takes place. So now we are going to study the chemical reaction where OH bond cleavage happens. Okay, OH bond cleavage, that is reaction involving the cleavage of OH bond. First, reaction with metals. Usually these alcohols will react with metals because they are acidic in nature. Okay, that is from an alcohol can easily leave out this hydrogen or sodium. Any metals can replace the hydrogen from alcohol. Here consider, if from from an ROH, from an alcohol, if you are adding a metal, what happens? Hydrogen will be replaced and you will get what? A sodium alkoxide. Sodium alkoxide and hydrogen gas will be liberated here. Okay. Second example, if you are taking a metal aluminium, CH3C, CH3, CH3OH. What is this? Third butyl alcohol. Third butyl alcohol will react with the aluminium metal. Look here, aluminium is having a charge 3 plus, isn't it? So 3 hydrogen should be there to replace. So what we will put here? Wait, here it will be what? CH3, CH3, CH3 whole thrice it will be there. And here you will get what? 6, I suppose, 6, because here you will get 2. Isn't it balanced? 6 CH3, CH3, CH3. 6 third butyl. Here also 6 third butyl, isn't it? 2 into 3. Correct. 2 aluminium, and here also 2 aluminium. Balanced equation. Third butyl alcohol will react with aluminium to give you what? Third butyl alkoxide, aluminium alkoxide. Okay. It is not sodium alkoxide, it is aluminium alkoxide plus 3H2. Similarly, phenols also react with sodium. Sodium hydroxide, if to phenol we add the sodium hydroxide solution, we will get what? Sodium phenoxide. Sodium phenoxide, because it is a phenol. You will get hydrogen will be replaced by the sodium metal. So, sodium phenoxide you will get plus H2O, because here water elimination takes place. OH and H will be removed. Water eliminates and you will get sodium phenoxide. These are the reactions of alcohols with metals. Here you can see the acidity of alcohols by the reaction of metals. Okay, that means it can leave or donate hydrogen easily. When acids react with metals, it can donate hydrogen easily. So we can say that we can give an example of this reaction to indicate the acidity of alcohols or acidity of the phenols. Now about the acidity of alcohols. Okay, acidity of alcohol. Why is the acidity of alcohol? Due to the polarity of the OH bond. Okay, due to the polarity of OH bond means this oxygen will easily leave this hydrogen. Due to the polarity of OH bond, they are acidic. Alcohols are acidic. Acidity of alcohol is due to the polar nature of the OH bond. So, to that, when we are adding an electron releasing group releases electron, isn't it? When we are releasing the electrons, or an electron releasing group increases the electron density on oxygen. Okay, so what it will do? It will not leave out the hydrogen. Oxygen increases the electron density, electron releasing group increases the electron density on oxygen. Okay, electron density on oxygen increases. So what happens? It becomes highly electronegative, isn't it? Oxygen becomes highly electronegative because oxygen electron density കൂടുമ്പം it becomes highly electronegative. As a result, it will strongly hold this H plus. When the oxygen becomes more and more electronegative, it will strongly hold the H plus and it will not easily leave the hydrogen. If it easily leaves the hydrogen, it is a best acid, isn't it? So, as the number of electron releasing groups increases, the electron density on the oxygen increases and as a result, acidity decreases. Okay, electron releasing group increases the electron density on oxygen, which decreases the polarity of the bond. Okay, as a result, the order of acidity of the alcohols is COH. Okay, CH2OH or CH2OH greater than if there is two alkyl groups to a carbon. More electron density on the carbon, as a result the electron density on this oxygen also increases, which is greater than if there is three electron releasing groups, okay, on this carbon. As the electron releasing groups increases, acidity decreases. This is the concept about acidity. And alcohols are weaker acids than water. Okay, than water, alcohols are weaker. Why? Because we can look, when a base or when an alkoxide reacts with water, what it does, this water will donate H plus ions to alkoxide. Okay. So water is a stronger acid than alcohol. When an alkoxide reacts with water, water donates H plus to alkoxide. As a result, you will get corresponding alcohol and OH minus. That is, alkoxide is a base, isn't it? When a base reacts with, we can consider water as a base, acid, as an acid. When a base reacts with an acid, you will get what? Conjugate acid and a conjugate base. Conjugate acid and a conjugate base. So, alcohols are weaker acids compared to water. Next, about the acidity of phenols. Okay, acidity of phenols can be explained in the similar way. We already studied the reaction of phenol with NaOH, isn't it? What happens? Water gets removed and hydrogen is replaced by sodium. So, we already know that phenols are acidic in nature. In a phenol, look here. Here the oxygen is attached to an sp2 carbon, isn't it? Oxygen is attached to an sp2 carbon of a benzene ring. Here, this benzene ring acts as electron withdrawing. Okay, here the benzene ring acts as electron withdrawing, and it withdraws electrons to the, or it gives electrons to the benzene ring and take part in reaction. Okay, how delocalization happens, let's study. Here, this lone pair will be, that is the benzene ring which withdraws electrons towards itself. So, the lone pair of electrons goes to this bond, and here the bond goes to this carbon, and there you will get a negative charge. So, look here how the delocalization happens. Here there is a bond, here you will get a negative charge and double bonded oxygen. Lone pair is used, isn't it? So, oxygen gets a positive charge and you will get a hydrogen here. Okay. Now, this negative charge will go to this bond and double bond goes to this carbon, and here you will get what? A negative charge. That is the next resonance structure. Here a negative charge. You can see here there will be a double bond, here double bond oxygen, positive, and here you will have a hydrogen. Similarly, the negative will go here and here it will be negative charge. So, the next delocalized structure will be here double bond, here negative charge, here also a double bond O positive hydrogen. Okay, these negative charge will go here and double bond will go to the oxygen itself and you will get this structure. So this is the delocalization of phenol. Okay, so here you can see what, hope it's clear for you. Okay, here you can see the oxygen is always having a positive charge, isn't it? So in a phenol, due to the electron withdrawing nature of this aromatic ring, always the polarity of OH bond decreases. In an alcohol, if you are using an electron releasing group, what happens? The polarity of the OH bond decreases. Why? Because the electron density on the oxygen is increased. But here, the electron withdrawing, due to the electron withdrawing nature of the benzene ring, the polarity on the OH bond increases. So acidity increases. As the polarity on the OH bond or the polarity of OH bond increases, the acidic character increases. So we can say that what, phenols are more acidic than alcohols and water, because the due to the electron withdrawing nature of the electron withdrawing nature of the benzene, the polarity of the OH bond increases. As the polarity of OH bond increases, acidity of phenol increases. This is the reason for the acidity of phenol. Okay. Next, here there are minus charges in the ortho and meta position, isn't it? Electron density is more on the ortho position and also on the para position, ortho-para position, then electron density is more. So if electron withdrawing groups are attached on the ortho and para position, what happens? The acidity increases. So if electron withdrawing groups are attached on the ortho-para position, what happens? The acidity increases. Hope it's clear for you. So already compared to alcohols and water, phenol is more acidic. Isn't it that we already studied? So from a phenol, when in a phenol ortho and para position, if electron withdrawing groups in the ortho and para position, it is minus charge because there the electron density is high in a phenol. So if you are attaching electron withdrawing groups on the ortho and para position, acidity increases. For such compounds, acidity will be more higher than a normal phenol. Okay, this is all about the acidity of phenol. So students, you can just pause the video and write this question. Arrange the following compounds in the increasing acidic strength. Okay, the first one is propan 1-ol, second compound 2,4,6-trinitrophenol, third one 3-nitrophenol, and the next is 3,5-dinitrophenol, phenol and 4-methylphenol. These are the compounds: propan 1-ol, 3,4,6-trinitrophenol, 3-nitrophenol, 3,5-dinitrophenol, phenol and 4-methylphenol. Try to categorize them on the increasing acidic strength. We will discuss this in our live session. The last reaction in the cleavage of OH bond, okay, cleavage of OH bond is esterification reaction. What is an esterification reaction? Here, the alcohols will react with acids, acid chlorides or acid anhydrides to give what? Corresponding esters. Okay, that is esterification reaction. You will get esters as the product. Alcohol react with acids to give ester. Alcohols can also react with acid anhydrides to give you ester plus corresponding acid, and also similarly alcohol will react with acid chlorides, or we can call it as acyl chlorides in the presence of pyridine to give you what? Ester. In both the cases, in the case of acids, acid chlorides and also acid anhydrides, the product will be an ester. So ROH, alcohol will react with acid in the presence of sulfuric acid. Okay, sulfuric acid is in the presence of sulfuric acid, that will give H plus ions. You will give you what? An ester plus water, and this reaction is a reversible reaction. So soon after the water is formed, we will remove the water. Okay, otherwise the reverse reaction will happen. So soon after the water is formed, water will be removed. Second reaction is the reaction with acid anhydride. This is acid anhydride. Okay, RCO whole twice O. That means R C double bond O. C double bond O R. This is the structure. Okay, so we will write it as RCO whole twice O. This is acid anhydrides. Okay, acid anhydrides react with alcohol to give you what? Corresponding ester plus acid. In the similar way, acids also react with acyl chlorides or acid chlorides. Acid chlorides are RCOCl. In the presence of a base, the base is the pyridine base. Okay, in the presence of a base, to give you ester plus HCl. So pyridine is used to neutralize the acid formed. The acid will be formed as a byproduct. So pyridine is used to neutralize the acid that is formed in the reaction. These are the three esterification reactions that we need to study here. Now about the reactions involving cleavage of CO bond. Till now we studied about the cleavage of OH bond, isn't it? Now the reaction involving the cleavage of CO bond. The first reaction is dehydration reaction. Dehydration means removal of water. So alcohols react with protic acids like H2SO4 and H3PO4, phosphoric acid and sulfuric acid, to give the corresponding alkenes. Alcohols undergo dehydration to alkenes. Either protic acids like sulfuric acid and phosphoric acids can be used, or anhydrous chlorides or alumina can be used as the catalyst. Alumina or anhydrous chlorides can be used as the catalyst. How dehydration occurs? When an alcohol reacts in the presence of H plus, protic acids give H plus, and also in heat, water removal takes place. Okay, one hydrogen from one carbon and the other OH from the other carbon will remove as H2O. Okay, from one carbon hydrogen and the neighboring carbon OH will be removed as H2O, and you will get a corresponding alkene plus water molecule. Here, if you are considering first the primary alcohol, okay, primary alcohol is C2H5OH. In the presence of H2SO4 at 443 Kelvin, if we are heating it, we will get ethylene, CH2 double bond CH2 plus H2O. Taking a secondary alcohol, CH3CHOH CH3. In the presence of 85% H3PO4. Okay, secondary and tertiary are in comparatively mild conditions. Okay, 85% H3PO4 and under 440 Kelvin, if we are heating it, we will get CH3CH double bond CH2. That means one hydrogen from this carbon and another hydrogen from this carbon will be removed. So here you will get a double bond. CH3CH double bond CH2 plus H2O, water molecule will be removed. Next, tertiary alcohol, CH3C, CH3, CH3 plus CH3OH. Okay, one hydrogen from here and one hydrogen from the OH will be removed under 20% H3PO4. Comparatively milder conditions and 358 Kelvin heat or 358 Kelvin temperature, we will get an alkene plus water. These are the three reactions of a primary, secondary and a tertiary alcohol when they undergo hydration to give the corresponding alkenes. Next, let's study the mechanism of dehydration reaction. The first step in dehydration is the formation of a protonated alcohol. That is, the alcohol will first react with H plus. This is CH3CH2OH. It will first react with the H plus ion and will form the protonated alcohol. That is, this lone pair on the oxygen will be attacked by the H plus ion. So here a protonated alcohol will be formed. The second step is the formation of the carbocation. So here the oxygen is having a positive charge, isn't it? So to remove that, we will have OH2 here, isn't it? Formation of a carbocation. The protonated alcohol will remove this water molecule. To neutralize the positive charge on the oxygen, this bond breaks and H2O is removed as water molecule and you will get the carbocation. So this is the carbocation intermediate. Carbocation. That means the carbon with the positive charge is present. The last step is the elimination process. So from a carbocation. Carbocation means this carbon is electron deficient, isn't it? So hydrogen from the next carbon will migrate to here and here a double bond forms. So the carbon positive charge will be neutralized. So you will get what? A double bonded carbon plus H plus. This is the dehydration mechanism. First we added an H plus ion. That H plus ion will be regenerated at the end of the reaction. This is the mechanism. First is the formation of the protonated alcohol. Then water removes and forms a carbocation. And the third step, elimination process, happens and we will get the corresponding ethylene or alkene. You will get corresponding plus H plus. That is in the presence of a protonated alcohol or protonated acids, protic acids, we are undergoing this reaction in the presence of H2SO4 or H3PO4. This is the mechanism of dehydration reaction. The last type of reaction that we are going to study in the cleavage of CO bond is the oxidation reaction. Okay, what is an oxidation reaction? Consider an alcohol. Here CH3OH, simple alcohol. Here in oxidation what happens is that this CH bond, one of the hydrogen hydrogen carbon bond will be broken. Similarly OH, here the OH bond also will be broken and you will get what? C double bond O and here two substitutions, two hydrogens will be there. HCHO, what is this? It is an aldehyde. That is two bonds will be broken, that is this CH bond and OH bond in an alcohol while undergoing oxidation. Next is when an alcohol undergoes oxidation, it transforms to aldehyde. Alcohol oxidizes to aldehyde. When further this aldehyde oxidizes, we will get what? An acid. Alcohol oxidizes to aldehyde and aldehyde oxidizes to an acid. That is the first thing that you need to know. Alcohol oxidizes to aldehyde and aldehyde oxidizes to acid. Next, some of the oxidizing agents that we are using here are KMnO4 that we already studied, potassium permanganate, isn't it? Next is chromium trioxide, CrO3, and the third one is PCC. PCC is pyridinium chlorochromate. Pyridinium chlorochromate. Pyridinium chlorochromate is one of the other oxidizing agent. PCC, chromium trioxide and KMnO4 are the oxidizing agents that we mainly use. Okay, while using KMnO4 for oxidizing, KMnO4 is a strong oxidizing agent. So, when we are oxidizing an alcohol, it will directly convert to an acid. Okay, while using KMnO4, alcohol will directly oxidizes to acid as this KMnO4 is a strong oxidizing agent. Next, when we are using chromium trioxide, CrO3, here it is a mild oxidizing agent. Okay, it is a mild oxidizing agent. So, alcohol will be oxidizes to aldehyde only. First, using chromium trioxide RCH2OH, that is a primary alcohol oxidizes to aldehyde. Note down, when we are using chromium trioxide, primary alcohol oxidizes to aldehyde And when we are using secondary alcohol, chromium trioxide oxidizes to ketone. It oxidizes to ketone. And when we are using primary alcohol, it oxidizes to aldehyde. Okay. These are the things. When we are using KMnO4, alcohol directly oxidizes to acid, as it's a strong oxidizing agent. While using chromium trioxide, when we are using primary alcohol, we will get the aldehyde, and secondary alcohol we are using, it will oxidizes to ketone. The next point is, one of the oxidizing agent is copper. Okay, copper in 573 Kelvin. So, when we are using copper in 573 Kelvin, primary alcohol will convert to aldehyde. Okay, primary alcohol converted to RCH2OH is a primary alcohol. It converts to aldehyde. And if it is a secondary alcohol, it will convert to what? Ketone. Okay, it will be converted to ketone in the presence of copper at 573 Kelvin. Similarly, if we are using both tertiary alcohol, we will get eliminated product. This you remember, the elimination reaction will happen here. That is dehydration, we already studied, isn't it? Here one hydrogen from here and OH will be eliminated as water, and here you will get a double bond. The eliminated product will be obtained when we are using copper at 573 Kelvin for a tertiary alcohol. Elimination happens here. These are the oxidation reactions. What happens in oxidation reaction? We will get what first? Alcohol oxidizes to aldehyde, then to acid. And if you are using chromium trioxide, alcohol to aldehyde in primary alcohol. If secondary alcohol, it will be oxidized to ketone. And similar happens in the case of copper in the presence of 573 Kelvin. But when we are oxidizing a tertiary alcohol in the presence of copper at 573 Kelvin, we will get the eliminated product. After elimination, we will get an alkene as the product. These are the points in oxidation reaction. So, we studied today the chemical reactions, how alcohol acts as electrophiles and nucleophiles. First, regarding the acidity of alcohols, reaction with metals we studied. Then we studied the esterification reaction. Next, about the reactions of CO bond, cleavage happening in the CO bond. The first reaction that we studied there was what? Dehydration reaction. Dehydration reaction, and the next reaction we studied now is the oxidation reaction. So students, we are concluding today's session. I hope you understood. If you have any doubts, you can comment below. Thank you and have a nice day.